So, we are back. I guess that's the best way of saying it. Yeah, we are back. So, in today's conversation, we'll do a security review, but this year we have so many great ideas. So just stay tuned, and yeah, wait and see what we have planned up. So, joining me today is Angella Nabbanja, an experienced veteran of the show. So many words of how do I say it? Thank you for being on the show. I'm looking for ways of appreciating you, but
thank you for having me, Dale.
Yes, thank you. Anyways, so yeah, Angela, you can take on the questions.
Okay, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's so good to be back. It's been such a long sabbatical, but I'm glad that we're back with the Cyber Weekly. Happy New Year, Dale, first of all.
Happy New Year. How are you?
Yes, okay. What are some of the security incidences that highlighted your 2024?
Well, there are multiple, but I think the one which everyone knows about is that one of CrowdStrike and how it interrupted so many businesses. So I think that one is the one which stood out the most. But also these incidents which keep on happening, especially like for the Patch Tuesday and all that. Those ones also. The funny thing is they keep on happening each and every time. It's like technology just keeps on evolving. So it's that's why I think cybersecurity is a very good field. So it keeps you on your toes. So I think that was a good one.
Yes. And it's also important to note that CrowdStrike reported that it was not a cyber attack. It was due to a failed update.
Yeah.
It really had everyone on their knees. I remember watching the news, and Delta Airlines reported that they had cancelled 7,000 flights. And you can imagine the chaos at airports, banks. I was just imagining all the IT managers looking at that blue screen of death and panicking. I would really not want to be in their shoes. So really also mean that the CrowdStrike incident really stood out for me. And it also helped me see how really these incidences can translate into great financial loss. Sometimes you can explain risk to people and then it doesn't really register until they know the amount of money that can be lost because of downtime, because imagine if they cancel 7,000 flights, how much money is that? And if you had to compensate people, really that was sad. And to me, back home, one that really caught my eye was the central bank incident. All the leading dailies were reporting that it was a cyber attack and that there were hackers. I remember, did you read all those articles, Dale? They said hackers had transferred money to Japan, to London. So for 2 weeks, everyone knew it was a cyber attack and they're waiting for the central bank to come out with a statement. But then they said they were investigating. Fairly so. But then at the end of the year, the deputy governor reported, I think it was their end of year speech, that it was not a cyber attack, that the central bank systems were not under attacked. Any they were not attacked, they were not compromised. So that left us confused. So anyway, we shall look out for the investigations, the reports from the investigations, to see what really happened, but to see how even the most I would think that central bank has the highest security or would implement the highest controls, but then also they were they had incidences. That incident was really eye-opening to like just show like no one is attack proof, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing you learn. Like, if you've spent some time in cybersecurity, you start to realize that they
Mm.
always have that saying of there are two types of people: those who know they have been attacked, and those who think they
So
don't. Yeah,
they're
who
yet to
think
find
they're
out.
yet to find out that they've attacked them before. So yeah,
Mm,
so most of the times, even like as a cybersecurity analyst, you'll find that you circumvent so many attacks, so people will barely know, or even
mm,
the fact that you have even things like user behavior awareness tools, which will be able to flag for you what is suspicious. So you'll be able
mm,
to stop most of them before them
mm,
materializing. But
mm.
um, those ones, those outliers, which usually happen, are what people always see as prominent. But to be honest, there are so many incidents which will
So
happen
many.
within a day, which you stop. Some will be small, some will be big, but all in all, uh,
Mm,
that's that's basically it. So you get to realize that yeah, there is no perfect system. So
there's no perfect
yeah,
system.
that's also
Mm,
kind of humbling. So you have to go back to the roots and then figure out what is not working or continuously improving a system. So yeah.
mm. Right. And how we're looking at how also regulatory changes and updates like the General Data Protection Regulation and which is the GDPR and the CCPA, which is the California Consumer Privacy Act, how they have reshaped cybersecurity um, and the way that data is collected from customers. You find that so many apps now really notify consumers on the kind of data they are collecting. They have they've given consumers more power to select if you don't want your data to be collected or you don't want to be tracked for advertisement, you can decline. So it has increased. These regulations have increased. Organizations have increased implementation of stronger security measures like encryption and data minimization, and then they've also led privacy by design and default, that you can't expose people's data. So in case you're building systems, it's security first, privacy first, and private security by design, privacy by design. Um, these regulations have also required implementers companies to report any data breaches within 72 hours. In case these data breaches pose risks to users, it have they have also implemented greater heavier penalties for non-compliance. So the GDPR fines can go up to 20 million pounds or 4% of the global annual revenue of a company.
Wow.
So yes, in case you see such risks involved, you really have to comply and implement the strongest measures to safeguard. And the CCPA imposes fines of approximately $2,500 per unintentional violation that's reported. So you find that there's enhanced consumer rights protection. Uh, Companies have to request access, deletion, and correction of data, and they also the right to be forgotten. Forces companies to erase data upon request.
I think that is
So,
a key one you've highlighted towards the end, the right to be forgotten.
mm,
The aspect that you've deleted your Facebook, profile, but still it still exists up to now. I think
But
Meta
still
is one
see,
of
yes.
the companies which has been
Help,
fined the most
culprits.
because of such things. So yeah.
Yes, the right to be forgotten. Also, adaptation of the zero trust and stronger authentication to minimize data collection and tighten access controls. Multi-factor authentication and zero trust security models have gained traction because of these regulations. So basically, that's it with the regulation updates. And Dale, would you tell us what are the expected trends and attack vectors that have caught organizations off guard from 2024 and your predictions into 2025?
My prediction would be we should still be having new vulnerabilities as expected, especially for tools which deal with mostly the network itself. So we are looking at vendors who work specifically on, should I say, monitoring the environment which people usually use. So it would be a very good place for hackers to use. And one which is still showing up a lot is the fact that most of the people are using SaaS applications, software as a service. And the aspect of that brings a compromise of things like the APIs and all that. So there's a lot where people will try to attack such. So I'm sure platforms like Google Cloud and Azure and all that need to be on their toes to ensure that security is maintained, even Amazon, so that there are less of that. And yes, think API is going to be a big deal this year, like API security.
API security, right.
So yeah, because the fact that many people would like to integrate different systems together, and yes,
cloud
I think
computing and edge
cloud computing,
computing.
everything being pushed to the cloud. So I think API security would be key. Yeah, threats are going to still be there in prominent areas, like definitely things like Office, Windows. Windows will still have several vulnerabilities as usual because of the amount of users, which has not changed since the year before. Yeah, same as I said, the network devices, definitely those ones will be attacked. IoT devices. Last year we saw that, and also this year will not change. So we will expect some attacks using IoT devices. Most people are talking of the best option is isolating the IoT devices network from the actual network you usually use, because because most of the times you find like even their firmware is not usually frequently updated like the rest of the other things. So it usually brings about the fact that it
Even
will
the
be like a
computation
backdoor.
capacity.
Yeah.
It's not enough for you to install so many security
Yeah. Yes.
controls.
Yeah, it definitely has limited space, and also it's not designed with security in mind. So there's also that issue.
That's true. So we're looking at what are the top priorities for organizations in strengthening their cybersecurity posture this year. So like you said, enhancing cloud and API security is key. We're looking at incidences where there have been misconfigurations.
Yeah, that's
Everything
a
is up
very
and
big one.
running.
As
Everything's
long
up
as
and
it
running, but
works, people don't mind
yeah,
about.
yeah. Then you
Yeah.
find that the firewalls are not properly configured, so you you kind of caught off guard. Also securing APIs and gateways, authentication, real-time monitoring for any instances and data leaks. For to secure using artificial intelligence and machine learning systems, like you said, that you deploy behavioral monitoring systems that can detect these attacks even before they
User
materialize.
behavior analysis.
Yes, before they materialize, so that you're not really firefighting as much. So implementation of the zero trust architecture to ensure continuous authentication and to restrict access based on risk management. Because like we saw last year with the GitHub hacks, where they were targeting high privileged accounts. So sometimes not everyone deserves to, not sometimes, I know in implementation in organizations, not everyone deserves to have a high privilege account. The more you minimize those, the more you really minimize the attack surface.
Yeah,
Okay, you
the
also
aspect of least privilege. You're only
mm-hmm.
given what is enough for you to actually do your
What is
work.
enough to work?
And the fact that the person is the CEO doesn't mean that they have to have access to
To
many
the
things.
server.
Yeah.
They don't even
So
know they have those
they even
rights.
don't know
They
they
don't
have the
even need
rights.
them. So adopting passwordless authentication and use of biometrics, passkeys, and hardware tokens to eliminate weak passwords, and also implementing multi-factor authentications, addressing multi-factor authentication, but then also educating, training users to 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 realize these persistent multi-factor authentication attacks, where like they keep on sending people codes until like you mistakenly, like you can mistakenly authenticate, because I've been sending you like maybe QR codes.
I'm
Yeah,
forgetting the technical term for that. I
it's
wanted to say alert fatigue, but
phishing.
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
yeah, it is phishing resistant,
Yeah.
resistant MFAs.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so Dale, how can small businesses, which often lack resources, stay ahead of cybersecurity threats this year?
Limited budget, but they want proper
Mm-hmm.
security.
Mm-hmm. Or
I think,
not even limited. Sometimes there is no budget at all.
yeah. Still, maybe the best option would be still leaning towards things like software as a service. So most of the things you can put them and deploy them. The good, easier one is maybe those Google platforms, where you create your Google Workspace and it does most of the work for you without so much a lot of money. Because I'm sure maybe the best option is now maybe the emails, then ensuring that the security of the email is there. Then you dig deeper into the devices themselves, the endpoints. I'm sure that definitely some EDR solutions, endpoint detection and response solutions, which are cheap on the market,
And
which can
also
be
free.
used, and free, which can be used to monitor those networks. Mm,
For small businesses, I'm even looking at,
Firewall,
how
there is pfSense, which is also a free open source firewall option, which you can use for your network. In fact, I'm planning on setting up a lab. So, guys, stay tuned. I might walk you through the whole process of how I'm creating my home lab.
nice.
Mm. Yeah, you were
Sincerely,
saying
also for
something. Sorry for
no,
interrupting.
sorry for interrupting you. So for small businesses, how people now these days have like Instagram pages, and then they realize, you can't be Instagram pages for business, right? But
Mm.
then they realize that you can't be replying to people's DMs, direct messages, selling your products. So people have set up their websites to sell, right? But then people can't trust their cards to pay using their cards if your website isn't secure. So there are free SSL certificates that you can incorporate in your website to also enhance security as you work your way into like affording the higher budget ones. And then also like small businesses back home have do mostly their work on like social media and WhatsApp, right? So the first thing obviously is to have strong passwords to your business accounts. You separate your personal work from, like, you have a work phone and work line, so that you can really monitor access control for the business line, right, Dale?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I'd lost you.
I'm thinking of what you're saying. You've
Yeah.
brought a new dynamic of someone who is starting up a business, and it's all basically purely online, and it's through mostly the social media platforms. How best to secure that?
Yes, so training your staff, or training or even
Um,
educating yourself, because most of the people are self-employed. So educating yourself on social engineering and training staff, conducting phishing simulations if you can afford that. But yeah, like the internet, you can teach yourself so that you're not caught off guard. So
yeah, I'm
that's it with
thinking
the small businesses
of
with
it
a
in this.
context of home, of like just with the context of what people are doing in Kampala, not even Kampala, like even Nairobi, across Africa. So a lot of business is done on WhatsApp, Instagram, because people, since the pandemic, people cut out fixed costs like rent, and they realize they can do a lot of business online. But then with all this phishing and social engineering, some people have lost money.
Yeah. I think what I'm thinking of is, in the Ugandan context, I think the best option is still maintaining the social media platforms. Then the only other thing you have to add is the merchant code, which is entirely for free, if I'm not mistaken, to
It's free,
buy
but also people had been prompting businesses. Like they send you, what's that, an approval when they initiate.
Yes, then they
So if
reverse the money. Yes.
no, okay, there's that part of reversal, but then there's sometimes people can initiate when they know your number. They initiate like a mobile money withdraw. So if you've not trained your customers, they can just approve, and then that money is gone. See, so
Yes.
there's so many
But I think
phishing.
one of the other options which can help prevent that is having a merchant code. The fact that when you've sent the money to someone with merchant code, I don't think people can reverse the money, can they?
No, they can't reverse the money.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they do. They can't.
Then I think I'm looking for ways of preventing it. I'm putting on my analyst hat to think of ways of preventing some of these. And then maybe if you're planning on now doing sales
On a website.
on a website, I don't think is that effective. Reason being is you have to think about the security, everything is on your head. So I wouldn't recommend that. Reason being is you don't have the time to focus also on the security part of it.
No, but then there are free SSLs that they can incorporate, because you see our website sells 24/7, because these small businesses have grown since the pandemic. So now they've moved from just maybe like 10 customers to like maybe 500. Now 500 need a website that can work anytime. Some people are depressed at night and they want to buy skincare. They'll go to the website
I
and
get your
buy.
point. So meaning
So you have to
but
secure.
I'm imagining if someone, my argument is if someone has, like the way you said, 500 customers, I think if you reach the point of 500 customers, at least you can afford to get someone to create for
To
you a serious
implement.
website, which won't
Yeah,
be
but
having security issues.
but you know how business is seasonal. So sometimes the the costs sometimes people really minimize the cost because this they are. So that's what I'm saying. Like you create your website with Shopify and then you like put SSL. At least there you're protecting your customers.
I think that's the
Anyway,
type of point I
yes.
was trying to drive at. Now, if you get like
Yeah.
something from Shopify, but the problem is, me, I didn't want to go deep into Shopify because I was thinking of the local market where most of the
Joe, I'm
people
telling you,
end
those
up
people are using Shopify.
in
People are
Uganda.
using Shopify for their businesses. Yes, I'm telling you,
That's interesting. I didn't
Instagram
know.
shops.
I didn't know that.
I'm telling you, I'm bringing it back home.
I
And I'm
should I
telling you, all
should
small businesses, yes,
me
all small businesses that
I
have
should join
websites now.
Instagram because I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so like all Instagram shops, the successful ones have
Mm.
now also shifted to like having websites, which I link in the bio. There's this one shop in Nairobi called New Level. It has really a very nice website, but they also started from like Instagram and then they shifted to now it's fully like e-commerce. They sell their products online and
How is the delivery?
it's secure.
Like,
They deliver what actually they deliver worldwide. They use DHL, so you can order and they deliver to you. But they sell, oh, anyway, I was going to say they sell cosmetics, but you can buy for someone. You can buy for
so
someone
if I'm
deal.
getting you right, their sales funnel is more of like they have a site which uses Shopify. So someone orders their product through Shopify,
No, they
no, orders
customize
through their
it.
site, yeah, but
Yeah,
using the API of Shopify.
yes.
Then they when you add the stuff and you buy it they also put your location and all that, then they deliver it to you. So it is done
Yes.
through DHL and any other vendor. Okay.
And the money is handed by PesaPal.
Wow.
Anyway, yes, you
Interesting.
should
Interesting.
check it out. Yes. That's the future of small businesses. People realize a website sells 24/7. So
Mm.
you should need to have a website that's up and running, secure, and easy to use so that like business moves. Anyway, how should how should organizations balance investments in prevention versus incident response?
Investment
In prevention versus incident response.
I think all that boils down into getting the right tools and also getting the right people or training the right people. Nowadays, it is more of training the right people.
I was going to say, because where are you going to shop them?
Yeah. So, yeah, basing on if we watched that episode of Gregory, so it's easier to train people. So, the right
I
people.
know, because even
So
Stephen had
now,
said, sorry.
if as if we have to look at vendors first of all, a vendor who is reliable and has a good track record, that is a key thing. That's the first step, getting the right vendors. Because definitely these technologies are too many. And keeping up with trends, keeping up with all those things, you have to ensure that your vendor has a very good track record. And by vendor, meaning a vendor who, for your firewall, is a specific vendor. For your EDR solution, NDR, whatever, email, your cloud, whatever. So depending on the type of setup you have, from your DLPs, whatever the solution is, getting the right vendor for it is critical. Then the people. The people is now the challenging part. Is most of the people you find that the training is not as good as you would expect. And definitely some courses now, if you talk of Security Plus, it's like $200, $300. And most people usually have issues with affording. So you would require someone who at least has a little bit of experience in working with some of these solutions. That is why most of the times you find someone transitioning from one, in Ugandan context, it's one bank to the other because they already know a solution from the other side, and it's easier for them to transition from one to the other, or from one business to the other because it's they have a deep understanding of how technologies work. But if you are starting from the ground up, meaning you have to train this person, so meaning there should be heavy investment into training and ensuring that this training is also effective. And also having a test environment is also key, where if there's an issue, you can easily check out things. You can't be playing around with production environment where business is
What
being
was it?
done.
Hot
So,
patching.
so yes, so all those things need to be put into consideration. I remember when we talked to Stephen. He talked of INE. It's a good platforms for someone to go there and learn things. TryHack is also a very good one because now like a good. How I wish most people realize that most of the businesses do not require someone who is attacking penetration testing, hacking. However, people think those are the interesting things. So most of the times people lean towards that. But under normal circumstances, you would require someone who will go there, read logs, monitor events, notice where things are not going well, and stop them. Under normal circumstances, that is what, on a daily basis, an organization would require, compared to this thing of, attacking back and forth. That is that is not what I think an organization requires, at least basing on what I've heard and what I've experienced. Most of the times,
Defense first.
yeah, you have to definitely you invest in protecting yourself from being attacked, and the penetration testing is once in a while, maybe in like 3 months, or I believe one of our guests said quarterly. I think it was the
Solomon.
yeah, Solomon. Yeah, he talked of it being quarterly. So yeah, so meaning that you have to wait quarterly to get a job. I mean, yes. So how I wish people knew that you need more defenders than actually attackers. So
Yeah.
yes, we need to invest more into defense. So
And
yeah,
putting controls.
yeah, yeah. My point was try hack me. Try hack me as a whole um, career path of a SOC analyst. So they have even 2 levels. So if you want to learn SOC cheaply, go to that. I believe the other thing is like $12 per month. If you pay for a whole year, to be like around $100. Which, believe me, if you go through that training, you will not be the same. Anyways,
That's true.
yeah. So I think that would be the ideal setup for an organization. Choosing the right vendors for your network, then also choosing the right personnel and also training the personnel to work.
Continuous
Yeah,
learning.
yeah, continuously.
And
Yeah.
what advice? Okay, they were still talking.
No, it's okay.
No, you can finish.
No, I wanted
You
to
finish it.
preempt you had something you wanted to say before.
It's okay, you can preempt.
No, at least I think it has got lost.
Therefore, you need to take your supplements. Okay.
uh,
And the advice you'd give to people individuals looking to improve their personal cybersecurity?
And the one I started with initially was having an antivirus on my phone. And yes, it's Bitdefender. So I had Bitdefender on my phone. I remember I used to pay $1 for it. I think I still do. I still do pay. So that one was a good one to start with because it used to stop most of the attacks on my mobile device. And remember, we used our phones on a daily basis. So that's the first one I started with. Then I resorted to Bitwarden. That one is for
Password manager.
password manager. Password managers are very important, by the way. Like, you don't have that time to keep on memorizing passwords every time. And otherwise, most people usually put their names, their children's names, their what, and they're not that strong and efficient as compared to what you get from a password manager. And the level of security and sophistication of it all, you won't be able to get it from anywhere apart from a password manager.
So examples of password managers that you'd recommend to people are Bitwarden, One Password, and which other?
I think the one which usually pops up in my head is Bitwarden. I'm trying to recall any other. Dashlane. Yeah, that's also a good one. Bitwarden, Dashlane.
Yes, One Password also.
Even Bitdefender has a password manager. Most antiviruses nowadays come bundled with the password managers as one of their services. So yeah.
Okay, for me,
I would really recommend Bitwarden. Anyway, I'm biased. So
are you being paid? Are you an influencer?
Please, Bitwarden, sponsor us.
Disclose, yes. Anyway, I would also recommend that people implement multi-factor authentication and use of app-based multi-factor like Google Authenticator and Authy. So for multi-factor useful, you can use something that you know and something that you are like a mixture of like biometric and a password that could be strong enough to protect you on your day-to-day use, really. And then never reuse passwords. Like they will say, do you have your child's or children's name or your mom's name everywhere on all apps, emails? Really, never reuse. Yes, never reuse your passwords. Have unique passwords for each account and prevent credential stuffing attacks. So anyway, online shopping, like we're now transacting online, protecting online accounts from phishing scams is now, because people are now saying, oh, you know what, it's not safe, so I've resorted to now just going back to like analog because everyone is now just so scared to like shop online.
Yeah,
it's interesting times that we're living in now.
Yeah, I think the best option is you just have to separate cards, one for those online transactions and the other for normal usage. Because I'm imagining putting your the one they use for paying your salary and everything goes everything goes
that tells.
Yeah, so
sad, really sad.
I guess
so
it's
you can
more
verify links.
of,
Yeah.
Should I say, what is it called? Redundancy.
You okay. Yeah, you transfer what you're going to use to that card for shopping online. Yeah, reducing the risk really, so they don't clean you out. And yeah, so you can verify links before clicking them. You can hover over the links, but some of them are even easy. Look out for typos in the URL. Such simple things.
But with
updates.
With emails, actually, it's URL shorteners by the ad, forgotten that one. It's big on WhatsApp and most platforms. They usually use URL shorteners to hide their malicious intents. I
Mm,
was doing a simulation for some of my students some time back, and
mm,
URL shorteners, when you put the actual link, the malicious link, it can easily be flagged by the email, like
mm,
your email vendors. But
mm.
if you use a URL shortener, it's not picked up by the event vendor. So yeah, watch out for those URL shorteners. Like literally, you can easily just click something and you don't know exactly where it is leading you. And you
Sure.
see things popping up, then you're like, oh, what's happening?
Okay, so for a layperson, how would they recognize that?
A URL shortener, there's those ones which are
Mm-hmm.
bit.ly, those ones which are, I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to recall them. But those, if you see a URL is short, if it's not like a .com or uh, like let's say if it's like sending you to facebook.com, but this one is not Facebook at all, but it's bit.ly dot
Mm-hmm.
something z something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So those ones are usually suspicious. It's
Yes.
if it's very short like that, less than 10 characters or something like that, you'll be
Mm,
able to just copy that link, go to maybe like any run. That's a good one.
mm.
And it's not entirely for free, but for some few seconds you can actually see something. Or
Yep, some few seconds.
yeah, for some
Anyway.
it's like 1 minute. They put the link there. Actually, they have a
Mm.
new product where they do for 5 minutes. So if you want to check out a if you want to check out
5 minutes.
a suspicious link, you can just put it there. Then it will show
And check
you
it now.
at
Five
least
minutes. Yeah, five minutes is enough. Five
without
minutes is
actually
enough.
it, you know, you just copy the
Mm.
link, put it there, then you see what actually happens. The whole idea is just to see what happens, not
Of
for
what
you
happened.
to click on it directly on your machine.
Mm,
So if you see
that's
what
true.
happens, and if it's malicious, it usually tells you the details of it.
Mm. What was
FYI,
that? What was it again?
it's called AnyRun. It's
Anyone?
used
Okay.
for dynamic malware analysis.
Mm,
It's one of those tools which are used for dynamic malware analysis. It's a professional tool,
mm,
though you can use the free part of it. That's the one I was telling you for 1 minute
mm.
and 5 minutes. But if you upgrade, definitely it is everything is entirely for free. Okay, not
Mm,
entirely for free. I mean, you can enjoy more of the services. So with
mm,
any run, you're able to do that. Another one which you can use for just checking out the links, actually is I've forgotten Fish Tool by the way. I didn't talk about.
uh-huh.
There's Fish
Mm,
Tool also which you can use. You just put the actual email, you just put it there,
mm,
then you run it. Then it will show you the different issues with that email.
mm,
Then, if you want to do further investigation, you come to it and then you check out, like, let's say you want to check out the link. Just click on the link. It will open up
mm,
a separate sandbox.
mm.
And all those things, you learn them through going through platforms like Try Hack Me, Let's Defend. So please, you can also do these things. So for
Get with the
anyone out
program.
there, just get the program so you learn those
Mm,
things. Those tools you learn them through those platforms. So make sure you
mm.
go there and check it out.
Sure. Any parting shots from you, Dale?
Um, one of the things I've learned of recently is it's is actually just a few minutes ago that uh, even if someone is not the specific words, I'm trying to use the specific words the person said that a fool who is consistent will be able to do actually
Mm,
the work and complete it compared to a genius who is inconsistent.
mm-hmm,
And he further on went on to say that with work, it requires you to consistently actually go through it and then do things. But if actually, he said that it's easier in this generation for you to actually succeed, but it's also very easy for you to also get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be careful with how you spend your time, how you spend your money, how you spend each and everything, because you can go either way just by what you do with your time. So if you choose a specific lifestyle, it leads you to a specific area. If you want to improve your analysis, or if you want to do bug bounty, there are definitely hours you need to put in. There's definitely a specific group you need to link up with. There's a definitely specific, there are Discord channels where you can actually learn from all these things. But if you choose the other option of not spending time into that, you also get the benefits of that, which is not actually, should I even say benefits? You won't be
The
able to
compound
reach
effect of
that.
time.
Yeah. So it's one of those things which you need to really be careful about, because the math is already done. I was talking to a colleague of mine. I'm like, man, January is already done. Like, the year will go like that, and you just wonder what did I do with my life. So yes, so you need to be extremely careful with how you spend your time this year. So be intentional, have goals, pursue them, and we are rooting for you. So yes, stay active.
Nice. Interestingly, my word for the year is consistency. So that's really timely, Dale. And for me, on the cybersecurity front, just the simple things. We shouldn't forget the simple things, keeping our software updated and using of even the free available resources that are available resources to us, like Windows Defender. People who have Windows computers, there's Defender, but people will keep on asking, I need an antivirus. But really, Defender works well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get all these third-party antiviruses that you don't need. And some of them are even cracks. They're not licensed. So it may be like really counterproductive getting that. We can encrypt sensitive data using like BitLock on Windows to minimize risk of like breach. And also this one goes to everyone who works in Kampala with a phone, not even Kampala, anywhere anyway, because I know someone whose phone was stolen in New York. So anyway, you can enable device tracking. Find my iPhone, find my Android. It will help a great deal. You can even find your AirPods. So all those simple controls, we should not forget to like implement them to save us headaches. So that's it from me.
Yeah, you talked of your theme for the year. Mine is living in faith,
Living in faith. Okay,
or
let's
faith
go.
living. So yeah, pushing towards your goal regardless of the circumstance. It's now leaning more into yours, consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
Yeah.
We keep at it. It's going to be a great year
Yeah.
for Cyber Weekly and for us. So
yeah, so we have so many ideas, so many things we're going to play around with. So just stay tuned. I'm sure even Angella is asking which new ideas. Yeah. So yeah,
keep on teasing.
I'll keep on teasing you guys slowly, as long as I don't die because of this cough. But
Deal.
stay tuned.
It could be COVID.
It could be
Did you
COVID.
check?
Stay tuned. See you all in the next episode.